Hi friends, Right Careers welcomes you to another brand new video. This is S. Sudarshan, your career coach. Before we get on to the topic, the customary thing, in case you have subscribed to my YouTube channel, thank you so much. And in case you haven't, do click on the subscription button and also the bell button for instant notifications of parenting and career related videos on a regular basis. Moving on to this week's topic, before we get on to it, I would like to know what could be the common thing between Jeff Bezos or Mahendra Singh Dhoni and Rajnikant. There is a commonness you can think, but in case you haven't figured it out, it's very simple. They all have changed their careers after a respectable initial careers to a superstardom career later in the stage. Jeff Bezos was a Wall Street professional before founding Amazon, right? Mahendra Singh Dhoni, we all know, was a ticket collector in Indian Railways before turning out to be the World Cup winning Indian cricket team captain. And Rajnikant, we all know, happened to be a bus conductor, and then we all know the history, right? So these three, and not only these three, there are hundreds and hundreds of people like these three who have successfully changed their career. I could also attribute that to myself because I hail from a very strong sales and marketing background professional, and from there to what I do today is complete contrast. So people do shift jobs or people do shift careers. They do lot on transition of careers. Now at Right Careers, we not only work with students, we also address the career at large, because our followers are not restricted to students. It's also with regards to their parents, right? Primarily in the age group of 35 and 45 form the core of our subscriber base. So we thought we will also do some video related to them, and that is when we took this topic about mid-career crisis. Now mid-career crisis, as the name itself suggests, it is a mid-career crisis that can happen to anybody, and that will happen to anybody and everybody who are working, right? Successful people are those who swim past such turbulence and make a re-entry or grand re-entry, I would say, and make it big in their life. At some point in time, trust me, you will get this mid-career crisis, and you will also start about thinking shifting of careers. Even if you don't get this mid-career crisis, which is a rarity, you will still think about shifting of careers. Now trust me, career transition, it's not only about doing something different. It's not. It is definitely doing something different, but it's not only about that. It's about changed lifestyle. It's about changed attitude and mindset of one individual self. And trust me, it is not only about the financial security or financial growth that we all shift careers. It is not only that. It is also your inner feel that will tell you can do something much more better than what you have been doing. And that's exactly the topic that we have taken for this time. The topic that we have taken is how to switch careers successfully in your life, in your professional career. How do you switch careers is what we are going to talk. Now before seeing how do you do that, you need to understand why do you need to switch careers. That's very important as to why you should switch careers. Whenever you get this question, you got to answer also, right? So first of all, you need to understand why you want a change. Now, start by asking yourself why you want to quit this job. Whenever you get a feeling of I want to change, right, be it a job or some other work, you got to ask yourself, why do you want to quit a job that you're currently doing? Now, is it because of the culture of the organization, or is it because of the people who work with you, which is very common? The people who work with you might not align with you, and that could have take a heavy toll on you. Or is it something else that gets bogged down, that you're constantly under the thought process to change? Is something which you have to seriously answer. Now it's only you who can answer these questions and not anyone. But the tip is something which I can give. Before leaving your job, you got to try to find ways, a good way, or the experience as to how your change is going to be. Whether you're going to face similar experience in your next commitment, or you're going to, or in the next job or next industry, whatever it is something which you have to visualize. Is that commitment that you're going to make in the immediate future worth a change? Is something which you have to answer. Now once you answer these questions, you will get little bit clarity, and then now we will see how do we switch careers. The first step that you have to make whenever you want to switch careers within the industry or outside the industry is you got to do a lot of research. You got to do a lot of research on new career avenues. Now researching such career avenues is the most important step, because a lot of things have changed over the period of time. the career exploration. You got to brainstorm career paths that match your skills, that match your interests, and that matches your values. So matching of culture, matching of interest, matching of skills, and matching of values is something where you have to strike a balance. Now consider industries or jobs that always had intrigued you. I mean, once you does that, you will definitely do well. Now after identifying the potential careers, research the opportunities. You have a lot of ways on the internet to research for various opportunities. Follow the pages of the industry or the company that you work or wish to work with. Attend a lot of networking sessions, lot of seminars, lot of industry conclaves, lot of forums where you can do attend yourself. Be very very active in LinkedIn so that you make yourself your presence felt everywhere. And that's the first tip I would say. Moving on to the second thing, or the most important thing after the first one, is developing of new skills. Now it's always important that we constantly develop new skills. It's not that we are doing well today, we cannot develop a new skills. There's a famous saying, right? Plan for your bad times during good times, and plan for your good times during your bad times. And that's how it has to be. That's how the cycle runs. So developing new skills through various platforms will definitely help you. That is called upskilling. We call it as upskilling, right? Or relearn. We got to relearn. Unlearn, relearn is the most important buzzword in industry. So you got to follow that. Various portals I can think of, Coursera, or many portals where you can upskill or upskill yourself. You can also take in-person programs if required. Either you can do it online or in person also. That's the second tip. The third important tip is you got to assess yourself. Trust me, you got to assess yourself. While many of you know what you want to do in the industry that you're going to work, or you want to go back to school, go back to a business school, or take a short programs and study, some of you might not know how to do. So you got to better write what you got to do. For example, what's my end goal? Now these things ideally happen, as I told you, from the age group of 35 to 45. So in 10 years, right after I switch over my career, what could be my end goal? If you're in 40, at 50, what you will be is something which you got to write. And if I'm keeping, the next is, once you write, if you keep doing what you're going to do today, will I get closer to my goal? So first of all, you got to identify the goal setting has to be done, written down, and then work towards goal setting. Then things would happen as per the plan. But then I also have some word of caution. You got to be in the reality also. The first thing, when you are looking out for shifting of, whenever you shift an industry or a job, is you got to be prepared for multiple rejections. Now this will happen. Now you might be very good at some skills, you might be very good for the skill set that gets advertised for a job opening or for a career opening in a different industry, but then the HR, they might not even look at your skill set whether it matches or not. They will always look from your strength perspective or your earlier employment perspective. So even if your skill set matches or their experience matches, it's not that easy. Often you end up fail, as I say. But then don't lose hope, because you don't need to convince anyone. You need to convince just one or two people, which you will eventually do. Now if that one or two person could be your mentor, or it could be an HR, or it could be an investor, or anybody, all you need to do is convince that one or two person for your new career thing to get shaped up. So you got to be patient about it, and you also need to be very very realistic about it. Now some transitions are unlikely when it comes to short term. You always need to look at long term perspective. Don't set up failure. If you're going to search for a job for 1 year or shift industry, if it not happens, many people stop, and that's the mistake that we all do. You cannot stop at some point in time. It has to be continuous and constant, and that's why you will get usually you get selected. Now to conclude, if you aren't thinking about mid-career crisis, if you aren't thinking about a career transition yet, you will someday you will think about it. Someday everybody will think about shifting of careers or jobs at someday. That is how today's generation is. And as the day comes, my hope is that you approach it with 3 C's, which is curiosity, obviously, conviction, and then commitment. Now these three are very very important. And career transitions are definitely messy. It's not easy, it is messy. But then it can also turn out to be a catalyst in shaping up your future, right? Definitely it will turn out to be a catalyst. Not only for that, it can make you proud also. Now there is no way to guarantee whether your career transition will happen or whether it will be successful. There is no guarantee, but then not trying to change or not trying to shift careers might end up regretting, right? So on that note, I would like to with lot of conviction, I would like to say that do try shifting of industries or shifting of careers at some point in time, so that it fuels your ambition. All the best, and in case you have any doubts on career transitions, you can always ping me. All the credentials are beneath. And until next, all together new video next week. See you all. Take care. Have a safe week. Thank you.